Hi to whoever's listening. Yeah, last week I was bored and hungry, so I decided to make something to eat, and that's what I'm going to show you now because it turned out really tasty. And yeah, it's pretty easy. I'll just show you what you need and what you have to do. Okay, in this bowl we're gonna mix 750 grams of whole grain flour. And that just goes right in there. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. We mix that into the flour. I used whole grain flour, but you can use any flour, white ones, the kind you want. Then we're gonna put in two teaspoons salt. And red pepper. Yeah, just as much as you like. That's probably like a teaspoon and a half or something. But that's like red pepper, so it's kind of hot. And then a little bit of green pepper too. Mix that up again. And then we're going to add 12 tablespoons of oil. You can use any oil, sunflower oil or olive oil. I'm now using corn oil. 12 tablespoons. That's going right in there with the flour and then the rest of the stuff I put in there. And then we're going to add, because it's still too dry, we're going to add warm water. I now have a glass, but I don't know if that's enough or if it's too much. You just have to see. It has to be like pizza dough. This is still too dry. Okay, now we're gonna have to mix this up with our hands. I'm gonna add a little more water. I think it's still too dry. But that really depends sometimes. So between a glass and a half would be all right. You will just let that rest, and we'll start with preparing the filling. So you'll just let that anywhere you want. And we'll start with the filling. Okay, so for the filling, we're gonna need three cans of tuna and 5 tomatoes, like middle size, I guess. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wash the tomatoes, which I've already done, and slice them in quite little pieces, I'd say. Okay, we're gonna take out that end part of every single one of the tomatoes and slice them first like this and then into smaller pieces so that one piece ends up like this. So that's what we're going to do with all the tomatoes. Okay, so here are now the sliced tomatoes, and into that we're gonna put 3 cans of tuna. Okay, into this we're now going to add mayonnaise. I'm now taking olive mayonnaise, but you can take whichever mayonnaise you like. We're going to add four tablespoons to make it a little more creamy, because the tomato and the tuna wouldn't really get together there. And now for the spicy part, again the red pepper, as much as you like. Again, the green pepper, remember you have 3 cans of tuna and 5 tomatoes, so it's a whole lot. And salt, of course. We're gonna just sprinkle the table with flour so that the dough doesn't stick. Okay, then we're going to form the big fat dough sausage into 3 parts, 3 equal parts, of course. And each of these parts again into 2 equal parts. And these again into 2. And you go on with that until you have 24 little pieces of dough. We've now got 24 little balls of dough. I'm going to take one and stretch it out until it becomes a very thin and possibly round circle of dough. Onto that, we now put a big tablespoon of the tuna tomato mix. And imagine this to be a square. We take the 4 edges and bring them together in the middle. We press it onto every single end, and then again these 4 ends, we press them together and bring them into the middle so that it becomes sort of a little dough bag filled with a very nice and delicious filling. Pull that nicely together so that it won't open when it's baked. And we do that with the rest of the 24 dough balls. Okay, so here we are back. After I had all the dough bags with the tuna and stuff ready, I put them in the oven for about 20 minutes at 180 or 200 degrees. And this is how they look like now. Some are still in the oven. And yeah. That's what they turn out to be. Little dough bags with tuna. I hope you try them. They're really, really tasty, and have fun. Bye.